now.
Can you see me?
Well, right now I'm looking for the Snake and Eagle's Shadow movie.
Oh, okay.
To see when it came out.
Because it's just showing my photo. Now you're back, though. But,
It came out in 1978.
Oh, wow. That was way before you was even born.
Yeah. But it's a classic. It's a classic of the Kung Fu movies. So. But the whole point of it is that he learns the snake style. And there's eagle style, too, and then cat style. But
which one do you like the best?
And the thing is that I think everyone is having to go through the animals associated with their chakras where it connects with things that are like the 7 deadly sins. Things that are properties that one must understand within themselves that they're liable to go towards, allowing them thus to like implement or learn by experience why it has to be that your actions start to implement that. Or sometimes it's just an upgrade that your body does by confronting the dark thing that exists. You gain a command and a power of the realm of your light energy and your dark energy. You know, you have different energy forces and stuff. And
so which one do you relate to the most of the types that you were saying?
I've needed to really connect with snakes for sure. But wolves too.
And I probably would be more with the cats.
I've always been allergic to cats, but I love cats too at the same time. So
really, wow, that's too bad. I know certain ones I'm allergic to. That I mean, I never used to be, and then my girlfriend in Canada, when I first met her, she had this cat that was. Are you still there?
Let me say, Katania, if you could take off your video thing and put it back on, because I can't see.
Where do I do it?
You just press your phone or whatever tablet it is. It'll open up a little menu, and then you'll see a button there that looks like a camera. Record a camera, not the recorder or anything, just a camera.
Well, where though? Oh wait, okay. So there, it's.
You press that button.
How did it get knocked on? Or
you take it off and you take it on, or you.
Is it back?
Now it's back. Now I see you.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do anything.
No, I get you, but it happens at times.
Oh, okay.
It's probably what happened to me a while back ago too.
Okay, so my friend Crystal in Canada had a cat that had this super long hair. It was a beautiful cat, and it was and I was like highly allergic to it, but I had never ever been allergic to any cat ever. And so then she told me it's from a high altitude, like really far north, so that the dander, you know, the cat's dander that gives off its pheromones or whatever it does.
Yeah.
Was what I was really super sensitive to because it was so foreign.
Yeah.
But I kind of got used to it, and then it kind of went away. And then I noticed that I was sort of a little bit allergic to Grace, the cat here, the one that's dying. And then I touched my eye, and oh my God, I was like, my eyes were itching for a long time from touching my eye after rubbing, you know, I was petting her for a long time. I'm just trying to make her comfortable as she like transitions out. And I already said my goodbyes to her and everything, and say I support you leaving, you know, talking to the cat, just helping her along the way.
Yeah, you got to talk to all the animals. You got to give them all some communication. The animals.
Yeah. So
like if I see a fly or I see this or that, sometimes like showing it movement and like, you know, playing with it in a sense like that, it's a language that it knows, you know, and whatever that makes. Some animals aren't that afraid. They don't get like vibrationally tense. Though it could be good to get tense because some humans will just kill you flat out. But, you know, when you have that connection with an animal, it's different. It changes.
Yeah. Well, the landlady got a little bit twisted about the cat laying up on the bed with me all the time, or hanging with me, and she was like bitching at me for it and saying I want my cat back and everything. So I think it made Grace feel uncomfortable. The
Do you
cat
have a
felt
connection with any
huh?
other animals? A connection with any other animals?
Do I have any?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the initial question, was like the multiplicities of animals that we may be connected to, as we started with the snakes and like that fear of the snake and stuff, and then
Yeah.
like um
Well, I'm not afraid of many things, and it's like that's something I know. Like I go near them. I don't run away or anything, but I'm still too afraid to like just pick them up and start handling it. Though I did it when I was younger, with garter snakes and stuff. But now it's just still a little creepy to me. Like, I mean, I want to do it, but I know I'm still afraid to do it, and I know I shouldn't be afraid because they're not going to hurt me.
yeah.
What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean, I
I mean,
guess
it
I could pick
depends.
up a
It
poisonous
depends.
snake.
I don't like to be seeking out anything really to happen, but there are occasions and moments for things to happen, and it's all about whether you want to put yourself there to expose yourself to those situations, and yeah.
Well,
So you
if I say I'm not afraid to die, then I have to prove that to myself. What what is the worst thing that could happen with the snake? That I die? So what? I don't care. I'm not attached to this world. I don't want to,
exactly,
like
exactly.
I don't want to live like my whole life in fear of dying.
That's what happens every day. You get out the front door.
I
You're
know.
supposed
I
not.
know.
You're,
Everyone is so programmed to fear death. And it's likely the most blissful thing ever if all that DMT gets released right at death. They
yeah, just
never talked about
we were
about
saying,
that.
even before we started the recording, like we were talking about like the medical system, and I told you that how they'll put me under for the medical procedures of the endoscopy and the biopsy, and it's the same thing. When they put you under, is what you were saying, is like a death, and, preparation for that. Like every sleep is a death, and some people
Yeah.
are afraid to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, you just reminded me of something I was just listening to where they were talking about how um ejaculation with everyone, you're like releasing your like life force, and it's what the French call a little death.
Yeah.
Like you die a little with, so like it was talking about, building up your reserves and strengthening
That goes
yourself.
back to the seven deadly sins of like our confrontation in these times as we're receiving light codes. It's we're gonna go to Leo season next, which is summertime, and it's gonna be a very powerful times we're already in and we're going through, and how that connects us. We have to go through the field of fear of death and fear of
Yeah.
darkness, and fear of whatever that is. Pass it, because that's our power. The dark and the light. Watch, the shit's gonna get fucking good. I think in the dimension. And that don't mean
Really?
people still aren't robots and stuff, but
Yeah, yeah. I know it is an exciting time. And as much as I don't like some of the shit that's happening, it's still fascinating to me.
yeah.
It just that it's like happening so fast. Don't you feel the time feel like it's
You know what
moving
happened was
faster?
is that in the 1960s and the 1970s, they had, even in the 1940s, really, it's the 1930s and 40s is when created high level technology and understanding with science and technology, that they've been able to progress further in clandestine or hidden spaces that we don't even know about with technological forms, to the point where we end up getting into the 60s and we end up getting into phones and the technologies we have now that have inundated our world. But those are of a specific class of released technologies that they wanted us to know about. A few little technologies that they could also be programmed and program
Oh
us.
man, there's so much we don't know.
But the technologies that are coming out, now that they're also going to start to release, and that have to do with their influence, that what they can do to the world and other things. There's beautiful things and fucked up things. It's both
Yeah.
of them.
It's
And
just crazy. It's
there's
just
going to be a
crazy
boom.
all around.
There's going to be a boom one day that like it has to progress, or we're all going to go towards this higher availability of technological form that is there, or who knows what they have in store, because it's their game, it's their plan, they're setting the agenda. And that means certain people aren't going to ride along with the agenda. Some people are, but it's a ride of like the human consciousness. So we're all here together to advance Mother Gaia as a spaceship, and we are here as a consciousness riding the spaceship and guiding the spaceship. We have a lot to do with where the spaceship goes.
Oh, well, for sure.
Individual
That's
battles
why,
we go through every day are very good.
yeah, that's why we need a lot of people like becoming, I don't want to say warriors, but you like, and I don't want to use the term super soldier, but you know what I mean? Like they have to like really build up their reserves and like get strong mentally, physically. That's why I want to do the exercise videos. But what I was trying to get across to you was that I think we need to start it like really slow and basic to try to get everyone
Exercise
like,
video.
because, you know, like people that hopefully we can inspire them to, you know, go further, and then you could like advance, but you're like so far advanced, you're going to leave a lot of people out if you just jump right in where you're at.
Yeah. No, I haven't even begun yet. I know I gotta
Well,
go
you know
from.
what I'm saying?
To
Like we
me,
got to
all I
keep it
believe in
really,
is
like if we could keep it
baby
really
steps.
simple and basic, because you're, and then you still, I mean, just for the video, and
Baby
you know,
steps.
we could still
That's all
let
I
people
believe in.
know that you're like way, way beyond that, but you're like something to aspire to. But like, but people could get discouraged very easily. They see you doing a headstand or something. It's like, no way, I can't do that shit. And then you lose them.
I don't
So
think
I'm
I
just,
lost anyone. I lost everybody a long time ago, I think, with other shit that I post and stuff. That's why, to
wow.
me, YouTube. When we talk about frequencies and channels and channeling things like spiritually, YouTube is a technological thing of which you can cast a channel. It's a frequency. It's a radio station. People can connect to it or not. But in the end, it's my channel. It's my radio station through space and time, and I'm fucking doing it. It's my thing, and like
Yeah,
so
we
that's the way I
gotta
see
try.
it.
We gotta try whatever technologies or whatever resources we have to counter what's, you know, what they're doing in
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
way we can. And I think one of the best ways, though, that we could do that doesn't involve money or you know whatever is just laugh, just laugh, because that like breaks the defense. Like it, you know, there's no fear, there's no, you're just having a good time and you're feeling good.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Like that is one of like the best things we could do is joke around, be like goofballs, you know,
yeah.
do stupid silly stuff.
And
Just,
smile through challenges. Smiling through challenges. Enjoying
yeah,
it.
and just
Having
keep
fun with
that,
the obstacles.
try to keep that mindset, because what they want is everybody to be depressed, angry, frustrated, in fear, all that negative crap, you know.
Yeah,
So what's the best thing you could do is just laugh at it and say no
yeah,
thanks, and just try to be as happy as you can. Do stuff to make yourself happy.
yeah. People don't even know the immense technologies that can come out that should have come out already in a real.
They're already out, but we just
No,
don't
no,
know
no.
about them
But
yet.
the specific ones that have to do with like our laptops and our phones and stuff, there are these other technologies that we could have already had that are like they would advance our lives and they would be
Can
so
you
radically
can you
different.
explain them?
I cannot explain. I cannot explain. But as a programmer, as someone who can program these things, there has to be one who can has imagined and created. There's so many genius programmers out there, and the projects that they create and do. It's just it has to be something also that they can control. It has to be. They won't release it for that.
That
You know,
who can control?
there are people who use these advanced technologies.
Wait, who that you said who controls the what? that they can control. What did that was
like
referring to? What?
When we have mass media technological forms like the laptop and all that stuff, they have to have some control mechanism. The internet had a freedom for a long time.
But who are you referring to that has this control?
The ones who will take you away and put you in a real MK Ultra experiment, and you will never be seen again type of shit. The ones who have control. That shit. They're there. You'll never be seen again. And they'll torture you through the whole fucking thing and make you go loony and crazy, and they'll fuck you up through it, and it'll be the worst ride you never wanted to go through. You know, sometimes I think there are people right now who are in dark cells and rooms who probably don't even deserve it, but because of the whim of those who have resources and money to do it, even medical field people, they have experimentations with people and stuff. It's right now going on, and it's fucked up just thinking like there's a lot of shit going on. And so we don't want to get in contrary to those people, or especially the ones who create the technology, don't want those people to get angry and stuff, because they'll in the shadows
they can do whatever they want.
In the shadows in the night of the dark, they'll kill each other. They'll kill one another and for bribes and for this, and they'll implant things into people's bodies that will make them die if they do this or that action and stuff or whatever. And then
I think that's what's happening to me now. Seriously,
yeah.
Well, you know what I'm going through, right? So, like, it feels, well, first off, they can read your thoughts. And I have such a combative attitude. You know how defiant I am. And I'm finding this to be the common thread with people who are in my position, like Tony, Brian, Michelle, and all, the people that are dealing with this nano poisoning stuff and everything that it encompasses, all the stuff you go through, like you're like targeted. And it seems like that it has to be our way of thinking or our attitude or something, maybe the way we use our words or something. And the fact that they can read your thoughts, and then it makes you it just fucks with you so bad. And that's why I want to be fearless, because I don't want any kind of fear, like somebody put a snake in front of my face or something. I want to get over that shit. Like all this stuff I do, like putting cayenne in my eyes. Oh, that's also, I found out I can't have cayenne anymore.
Yeah. The thing is in life, there are things in balance. We cannot go too far. And
no, I can't have any kind of peppers, any nightshade plants at all. No potatoes. You know how I love potatoes. No beans.
I see.
And I stopped the grains.
I eat a little bit of potatoes. I'll eat a little bit of rice here and there with meals. I like calabaza. I like yuca.
What is that? What's the calabaza?
Calabaza?
I don't know.
Calabaza. Tú no sabes qué es un calabaza.
Is it some kind of a root plant?
It's like a melon-looking vegetable thing.
Oh, is it a squash? Then
something like that, maybe squash.
It might be a squash, but I don't know which kind. Is it yellow?
Yep. It's like yellow.
And does it have like red little lines or dots going down it at all?
Let me see. I'm going to flip the screen here.
I can't have any melons either, dude. Oh, okay.
It's like a pumpkin looking thing.
Yeah, I forget what they're called.
Calabaza.
It's not acorn squash though, huh?
Yeah, they got different names, but this one, I think that's its name. Here, you can find it in the store easily.
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
Well, I like that too. So I'll eat potatoes here and there. not to go overboard with them. Even meat, they say like on a day basis to eat like amount of meat is like your palm here.
Yeah.
Not even the whole palm, just like
Yeah, that's all I have.
yeah.
So I just used up the last of my steak, and I get a little
I don't
package.
eat pasta. I'm not into the pasta stuff.
I
Rice.
quit that years ago. I quit cereal and pasta and rice and everything, and then just recently stopped with the bread and the wheat.
Yeah,
So the wheat's a big one.
Not into milk that much. Milk, not really.
Well, it's kind of also some of this is like the paleo diet in a way. Not that I'm following any real diet, but I have to eliminate all these foods that I can't have. I can't have any legumes. That means no lentils, no peas, no peanuts, no cashews. Cashews is a legume too. So certain nuts and seeds I can't have either. So I can't, it's like the lectins I have to eliminate, or lignans. I'm not sure if it's both or both.
Cashews, I won't eat so much. There's a lot of nuts I won't, but I will like. I do like almonds. I like pecans. I like walnuts.
Walnuts and pecans are my favorite.
Yeah. There's a place over here called I forgot the name, but here that they make such great food. I fucking love it. Daily Bread is what it's called. I forget. It's like Armenian or something like that. And they have.
I like ethnic places when they cook true to their culture.
Yeah. And they have a pastries section there of a pecan and a walnut thing, and they make it natural with like sugar. They don't use honey. They use honey to make their pastry, and it's so fucking good.
Oh, I made these
I want to go to that place with you. If you ever come to here, Miami and stuff, I'd love to go to that place and eat there with you at one point. Like that.
Maybe I don't ever really eat out, but I might for something like that. I might, but none of this Americanized stuff. I don't like it. So I made these different. You know those little people call them maybe protein balls or whatever. They're small little round balls, and I roll them in coconut so they look cool with the coconut on them, but they're made out of walnuts, pecans, and dried apricot, figs,
I like apricot.
figs and dates, and then I poured in some honey to hold it together and made little balls, and then rolled it in the coconut. So they turned out really good. They taste really good. I had some dried cherries that I got, and I forgot to put them in. I don't know if I can have cherries, but I'm gonna have to find out. Oh, there's so many things I can't have. It's like
Literally, I think I'm allowed to have a lot of these things, but it has to be once, maybe every 6 months. Once every 6 months, can I try to have one of these things of stuff, and then I should stick to more like just rigid.
What things are you talking about? Things of stuff.
Certain foods. Stay away from foods like milk. I stay away from. I have it maybe a chocolate cake. I'll have it one time. Like on a fucking New Year's or my birthday, which is coming up in Virgo season, September 16th. I'll have it then, but I won't really touch.
Your birthday's November 16th?
September 16th.
Oh, September. I thought you said November. Okay. I didn't think it was in November because that's my brother's birthday.
November 16th. That would be Scorpio, I think.
Yeah, my brother was born on that day.
Oh.
And then he died when he was 23. He wiped out on his motorcycle.
23?
In Texas. He hit like an oil slick, and it just like made him lose control of the bike.
I see.
It just threw him really far.
Damn.
He was all crushed up and everything.
Yeah.
That was my closest sibling.
I one time had a dream that I was in a car moving really fast. I was driving so fast. I opened the door and I was like, okay, here we go. And I dove right into the ground. I said, okay, here's the ground. And I went, as the car was moving, I zoomed into the floor, and then I flew out of my
This
body.
really happened, or it was a dream?
A dream.
Oh, okay.
And I flew out of my body, and I had an out of body experience at that point. I flew out. I went through like a portal, and that's probably what happened to your brother. But he ended up going to the other dimension. He went to the other world.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. A pretty awesome way to get there. You know, you fly through.
Yeah. We were really had a good connection. He was my closest, and emotionally like connected of all, besides my daughter, of my whole family would be him.
Yeah.
So we always laughed and had fun. We were like the clowns that kept everybody entertained. So we were both really goofy. I know it's hard to imagine me being goofy, but
You being goofy, I can imagine that. When life isn't being a fucking bogged down and shit. Yeah, I've known, and we just have conversations about other things too, and not just like, damn, because life is fucked up. Yeah,
now
I
I
like to
have
be
to go.
goofy and enjoy, and
Now I have to go find Wi-Fi to talk to you again.
Oh, I see, Wi-Fi.
Like remember I had to always go to Mickey
Oh yeah,
D's or something.
because you're leaving from there, and now you're gonna go on a journey.
Well,
see,
I'm not. I can't. I'm stuck with this damn passport thing holding me up.
With your YouTube videos, you should like document your journey as you go through what is happening and stuff, and like
Yeah,
where
I will, but I'm not like. First, I'm just going to go. I wish I could get a, like an RV or something. I did go up and talk to the guy that's up the street. He does, he's a car mechanic. Like he has his own shop and stuff. And I was asking him if he ever gets them in. So he said last year he had a couple. So, but he hasn't had any so far. But he'll keep an eye out for me. It'd be nice to have somebody like that find me something, because he would know if it's sound, if it's, in good shape, because he's a mechanic.
Yeah.
So, and if it needed fixed, anything, he could fix it for me or whatever.
I understand.
And so that, I've tried to plant some seeds to try to help me, manifest something as soon as possible. So I do have this tent, but I don't have anywhere to set it up. Like, I don't know. I have an idea where I could go, what area to go to, because it would be less likely to have the 5G. Because that's that's a big part of what I have to get away from. That's
something worth explaining about the 5G and stuff, because I have my own opinions about 5G and what it is and what it's about, and so then explain what it is for you and what it does to you.
Well, I think basically it's probably a monitoring system, but it also, I think it's more than just the 5G. It's like the 60 gigahertz, the frequencies and stuff that can get you. So, and I'm really close to that radio tower, like the broadcasting station in Bellingham, where they put out the frequencies. And Brian was telling me about that. Brian in Canada, the guy that did all the nano research and documentation and stuff about it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he's talking about nano.
He was telling me how like ripe this area is, right where I'm at. He knows this very spot. He even grew up, spent part of his childhood here.
Okay.
So he knows where I am, and he knows about, what's going on with the the frequencies and stuff and
Apologies,
whatnot.
I was sending a message to my cousin just now, and so that's why. But I was listening to what you're saying, and
Okay.
the rest. I remember the topic of the question was about like you were getting into nano because of what 5G does or so. 5G.
No, I'm just saying that I don't know that it's exactly the 5G is like, or how that is involved in it, but it's more about the like 60 gigahertz frequency things that as I'm being hitting me. So it actually it does help me.
Can I ask that question? What is a 60 gigahertz thing?
Well, it's just a frequency. It's these bad frequencies that hit like and just distort your whole body.
What produces it?
Well, that's what I was saying. They can broadcast it from this tower. There was a whole big ordeal about it. Brian was explaining to me about how they staged a fire. They like burnt it down or burnt not they I don't know that it burnt down, but there was a fire. And then, then there was all the insurance, probably fraud, whatever. And then whoever with the power snatched up the radio tower and has been broadcasting these frequencies from that specific location. So it's not just a like, oh, I bet they're doing this or that. I mean, this is like something he knows about.
I get what you're
And
saying.
he knows this very area where I am, which is just is right near that Bellingham. And
So you gotta get the fuck out of that state, pretty much.
Do what?
The state that you live in, you have to get out of.
Yeah, I have to get out of Washington, but the whole passport thing is what's keeping me here, and it's already past the time that it was promised, that they said it would be here. Up to 8 weeks, it said. It could be less, but it was up to 8 weeks, and now it's over 9 weeks. And then when I went online, they said it's now 18 weeks. So,
18 weeks. I remember you told me that.
18 weeks, and like, you could pay an extra $60 and maybe get it in 12 weeks.
Did you already pay to get it expedited?
No, I didn't. But even if I did, I would have just been out that money.
Yeah, shit. That's
because now it takes 12 weeks when you pay the extra $60 to get it extradited. It comes in 12 weeks instead of 18 weeks.
Well,
allegedly.
I'm waiting. Allegedly. They told me it's coming in 8 weeks or so. 2 months, 8 weeks.
Right. That's what I was told too. But now go and look it up. See if it's in your state. I think you can go
6 weeks as well. Possibly 6 weeks.
Okay. Now that's exactly what I was told. And you had the option to pay $60 or something extra to get it.
On option. Yeah. It was like 70. Right? It was like $70.
You paid that? Did you pay it?
No, I didn't want to.
Okay.
I had a plan.
Even if you did, I don't think you would have got it.
I was going to go to Spain or Japan. But I realized that where the planets are right now, because Saturn is retrograde or Jupiter's retrograde, it's going out of Pisces into Aquarius. It's not good to travel necessarily unless you have good structural foundation and associations where that structure supports you. This next year is when travel starts to open up more for people and going out, and it's a bit more favorable energy to travel. But
so
this year,
kind of like think of it like a year from now, then consider more like concrete plans.
Right now, and there's new types of constraints that industries are going through.
What you glitched out? I didn't hear it.
There's constraints, and there's new constraints that industries are going through and that they're doing. That like they're changing laws and they're changing ways. It's down to the social media is changing the way they do their infrastructure and their organizational pattern. Is the Aquarius energy. It's a
Yeah,
mental.
everything's gonna be different, man. Ain't nothing
It's like,
gonna be the same.
yeah.
Nothing.
And the
I mean,
government, same
ultimately, it's
way.
gonna be totally, totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even hardly imagine. I mean, we could start imagining. That would be good for people to do, right? Start, just thinking of what they would want, how they would like to see the world. Like,
Because I see it like also 5G is coming into integration in a way that the 5D is trying to come into greater integration
yeah, but
with our.
that's some kind of control mechanism there, Ariel. I think because these things are like have to be 500 feet apart because they're so short. These little tiny.
Yeah.
It seems almost like a weapon somehow.
But in its weaponry, it's also a neurological linking system for certain mental minds and groupings of minds to connect with one another. It's a scientific endeavor. For some people, it might hurt them a lot. Other people, it's something that I can't explain. The technologies that they have to interlink and communicate with one another, and like what that helps them do and build and create. Technology is important. I want to have my own AI. I want to build my own computer robot AI that like we go through life and it assists me and assists me with finances and assists me.
That's probably where we differ there because I'm like so against the AI because
The thing
this is part of what is happening here. This is an operating system that's going on.
is called the fifth dimension. Yep.
So it's an actual, like they're using the technology or whatever, the nanotech to control me, and I'm like fighting it tooth and nail. I'm
It's
not going along with it. I do not consent.
evolving. The
Do
world
what?
is evolving into a place of nanotech.
Yeah, but this is part of the transhumanism. I don't want to be a machine.
It's not just about transhumanism necessarily. It's about fourth dimensional ascension. This is the point. Fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional ascension of consciousness that is being facilitated here in human beings, human species, and whatever we are to become towards the future further with ourselves.
Okay, now differentiate between the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension.
Okay, okay. The first dimension is the self. The second dimension is connecting the self to something specific outside of itself.
Something or someone or either both.
Yep, something, someone, person, place, or thing, resource, something physical. It could be like a spirit. The spirit connects itself to the soul, is the number two, or the spirit connects itself to the body, is the number two. So the two is like it holds down. It's like the density that gets held or something by the number one. The number one can create the two, is what it wants to relate to, and it manipulates or moves with it or whatever it is, a person, place, or thing. Number two, something you're in relation to. Number three is then thus the further environment that deals with. So it's like the number one relates to number two, and then the rest of the environment is the third dimension. And so then the fourth dimension is like a higher position of like realms of thought that comes, the highest dimension of spirit that communicates to us is the ninth dimension, like up here and shit. And that has built processes down to the base minimum so it could build processes back up to the point where we reached a human being that's capable of third dimensional awareness and creation to then thus gain access to its greater awareness through fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional perceptions or so. So the fourth dimension.
Well, you're saying like fourth dimensional is a higher consciousness, but then what about these fourth dimensional beings that you're always talking what assholes they are?
Okay, well, because fourth dimensional beings, they
You
take
know
care.
what I'm asking, right? Like, because we've talked about some of this, so I don't.
Nature is not what you want it to be, and so fourth dimensional beings are like higher order of ways of organization that create physical environmental processes. Like it could be a natural disaster. A fourth dimensional process could be a hurricane, and the hurricane may have its reason for being and the energy that it's channeling from, and then kills 20,000 people or whatever the fuck, or a tsunami or a volcano. There's a fourth dimensional.
I still don't get how it relates to the fourth dimensional beings.
There's a fourth dimensional being who governs
the negative side or whatever.
They govern the process. Oh, the negative side of it is where human beings connect to that realm of thought, that we connect to that realm of that higher plane for perception, if you will, and then thus we create like our own rules, we create our own patterns, or so we create our technologies, we create our boxes. We start to become fourth dimensional. You know, you say, oh, we're becoming nanotech and stuff. The moment we live in a box, or you live in a tent, or you live in any one of these things, you're becoming symbiosis with our creation. Like we were created in some image or so, we create things. And we live in exact symbiosis with our creation, the same way like a bird lives with a nest. It builds its own nest and then it lives with it. We build things and we create things in an infinite sphere of Akashic records of information of thought. That fourth dimension is an infinity of access that then thus we have to the cosmos now. Fourth dimension opens up cosmos. Now, for the spiritual person, it opens up a watery realm of cosmos where you get to connect vibrationally and psychically. For the left-brained, nihilistic person or scientific inclined person or reality-based person or atheist-based person, it's more air-based. It loses moral in a sense. It's just thought, raw, cold, hard thought in a sense. And so people can build, you got infinities of dark thoughts and good thoughts, or so, you know, the faithful thoughts in infinity, and then also like other ones that robots don't give a fuck. Like robots are computational in a sense. They're fourth dimensional in nature. So humans who connect that way and robots that connect that way, people become robots. People connect to frequencies in a sense. You become those things, or so. And we're going into
that's probably why I have such a hard time relating to them or something, because it's like I'm talking to a lot of times it's, you know, like they don't think, or, you know, it's just hard to communicate with people because they're trapped in their box or whatever. They can't think outside the box. So it's hard for me to sometimes keep conversing with them without overwhelming them.
a person.
Like, they literally get tired because they're thinking too hard, because I guess I challenge them. I mean, not intentionally.
Your soul, in a sense, your fourth dimensional inclination is such an esoteric thing, a deep metaphysical thing. It should be kept esoteric. It should be kept more understanding, like in awareness of why, with wisdom, it should and should not share in many different varied bases of experience. And then it's if that makes sense, it's like not sharing with people. There's a big story about that, of like
it's like I'm a compulsive sharer.
The philosopher who, oh, you had a pain in your.
Yeah, I just turned too much.
That's another thing.
I guess I was holding pretty still when I turned, I forgot. Huh?
The third person in our conversations here is the phone. The phone itself is an entity, is a fourth dimensionally inclined thing, and we are already gaining access through it to have this process. But there's so much information and data that's stored and kept, or that facilitates this moment, that like we're talking to something else too. As I'm talking to this phone, is a medium. We're caught within mediums to speak and talk, and there's other ones all around us. Woo! You see, had to make a sound.
I was just reading like something along that line in the anesthesia books. I think I'm on book 2 now of the fourth time around. And it talks like, it doesn't actually say the Akashic records, but that has to be what they're talking about. You know, just access to the wisdom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And just the way they worded it, I don't know what else it could possibly be, that they just never use that term, Akashic, at all.
No, that the anesthesia has a lot to do with metaphysics,
Yeah.
metaphysical thought, and like metaphysical psychic power.
And I think that's why it was more of a, more of a hit in Russia than it is in the United States, because most Americans do not think that way. They just can't even take in that kind of information that those books offer.
Yeah, the
I
swing of
mean,
the
my daughter only got to like page 110 or something like that, and she couldn't.
the East and the West are different ways of thought and form.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fourth. That's fourth
isn't
dimension
Russia
governed as well.
considered? Is Russia considered East though?
It's considered East, yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I didn't. For some reason I don't.
And with China and stuff. But I wanted to say that the fourth dimension governs these things as well. The countries we have, the groupings, the religious domains that we have regionally and stuff, they govern this in a spiritual plane. If you give your energy to it, if you think about Jesus Christ every day, you're giving energy to a fourth dimensional thought form that has energy and akasha storing in it. So anything we think and participate in or whatever, we're going to those worlds, we're experiencing those experiences, and we're giving information in akasha to it as it gives us back information in akasha as well. Hopefully we go to good places that don't fuck us over, you know. But
Really?
that's where you ever have to interact with fourth dimensional entities that can fuck you over. Spaces in higher dimensional time and space that have to do with governances of situations on third dimensional processes that you got to keep a mind out. It's the same thing like when you have to go to the library, and in the library there's a set of rules. You can't just start yelling in the fucking library if you wanted to. Someone will tell you, and it'll be a fourth dimensional entity commanding that person to tell you the rules of this domain, of this environmental spot that's been localized to this spirit. When you go outside of that place, it's a whole nother spirit. It's a whole nother thing. So it changes. And when you go to this country, it's a whole nother set of laws. It's a whole nother set of things in the air and perceptions of people and all that. And so any conversation with a person, you're dealing with a densified form of like a form of akasha. And
I'm sensitive to all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you are too.
Because we have our sun in the 12th house. Sun in the 12th house. And you're a Cancer. And you're a moon in Virgo. And I'm a Virgo too.
So what does the moon in Virgo mean? Or what did you say that related to?
I know a moon in Virgo woman that she has like one of the most beautiful apothecaries.
Is that what Sloane's is too?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. She's a Leo. She's a Leo, but I don't know.
Leo, sun and moon in the 12th house.
And yeah, she's in the 12th house too. So I think there's some similarities there. So what does the moon in Virgo mean? Or what is like sort of a sign of that I have?
Okay, like I was saying, there's a woman that I know who has the moon in Virgo, that she has like an apothecary, and she takes care of plants, and it's so beautiful and creates like how it grows, and a structural form of understanding how to grow something, if that makes sense. Like how I would represent that with you is that you would have gardening abilities to grow something like that yourself. That you have skills, many skills and abilities, and that's Virgo. That you go through it, you learn it, you go through the process. Even it's Virgo can have command of hands and energy through hands in a sense. And so massage therapy to think about when it comes to that. And you are a massage therapist. It's like a way of getting better with life and being concerned with your habits, being concerned with what you eat, being concerned with time and schedules and day and night cycles for things, and like planning.
I'm trying to move away from the time constraints though, like to not be ruled by, like, oh, it's noon, must be time to eat lunch, or just all the programming. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah.
trying to cut that kind of time stuff out.
Yeah. You got to just believe in yourself.
Yeah, I know. And trust in yourself too.
And you got to train sometimes because the body, it helps the body to process when you have to go through or eat or consume or be a part of a frequency, be a part of an environment, be inundated with a medium or submerged within a whatever it may be. You gotta have to. Something's gonna leak or come to you or touch you or some gas, liquid or solid, and it's gonna do whatever. And it's crazy world out here. It's fucking crazy
Yeah,
world.
I'll be hopefully I'll be able to do now. My limited with this strength again because I keep re-hurting my hand and even my ankle because I'm overusing it and not like giving it enough rest to heal.
I was gonna tell you that when you first started telling me when we first got on the phone, you told me about the pains that you were going through. The first thing I thought was that's why I asked you about meditation and stuff because you have to find a time with yourself to a shamanic sitting. It's called the way the shaman is to sit. It's an initiation. Like if you can't sit this way, you cannot fucking get
What is
past.
it? A lotus? The lotus position?
No, when you get it, no, it's just going. It's just sitting in a chair, and you
Oh,
can have armrests. You can have armrests too. But the idea is that most people either they fall asleep into it, which is okay, or they get agitated and they get up from the chair too fast because they got to do something or whatever. You have to commit to this moment where you sit down with yourself and you try to find the position where you're just sitting, maybe like this too, and you're erect as well. It's okay to find that you start slouching here and there or whatever, especially if you're trying to be.
can I do it like what I'm doing right now, where I'm just sitting, like
This goes back to like how
but make
technology
my
is.
back real straight?
Technology is very bad for us. Yeah, that's good. That's good. But you should have the phone down too.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
I don't know
so that
where
way.
to put it. There's nothing to sit it on.
I see. Well, it's okay then. Maybe you don't have to put it down.
Whoa.
But if you want to, it'll relax your hands. It's good for your
There.
arms. Yeah,
Can you
that's okay.
still can you still see me?
Feel it.
Can you see me?
Yeah. And this
Okay.
position, we focus in on the center and the buttocks and the chair or the ground we're on or so, and the weight that that has. And then for you, it would even be further down your legs because your legs are stretched out. But we start from the base here, the base part of like the mermaid of our being, first chakra. It's called the first soul house. Not regarding astrology houses, is the first chakra down here, all the way at the bottom, the base of the spine even, is the first soul house.
Soul. Soul. Soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this container here is what holds your soul, or your soul is connected to the body, holds this soul in a sense. And from there, when you focus there, that's your stability. There's also connections with that is the Taurus energy, stability with Earth and Mother Gaia, and the structure and the root of things. It would make sense to even imagine an energy force beneath you that is also like Earth, and that you connect to it. Sometimes even when you're walking and staying.
I'm putting down roots, like.
Yeah, yeah. The more we learn how to do that, people get all messed up and they think like you have to be barefoot all the time. You can do it through your shoes, you can do it through anything. It's all about chi energy that passes through. And so I just pass energy through into the ground. And from that, and using your hands too, maybe slowly to like move energy if you can feel it.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I do that sometimes when I send Reiki to people. And when I sent it to you, like whatever, like I feel moved to do, like with my hands and stuff, I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always know what it means, but I just do it anyway.
Yeah. No, for me, it's two things. It either has a meaning or it's because I'm working out or I'm training or I'm moving in some sort of position, like a training or something. And so one way to hold the hands is like imagining a ball and you're holding a ball to your root chakra and remembering the stability. in the center line that you have here. There's this energy here.
Yeah, they just had a good thing on Crow about the spine, and they were connecting it with like the numbers, numerology, and stuff like that. You know, the 33 and the spine, and they were talking about the chakras, and you know, in a different little angle than what we talk like about, but still, it was still interesting, and it's still, you know, tied into.
Yeah. The idea with the shamanic sitting is that you're connecting to your root, and then you're connecting to like a theta delta energy, or so. However they call that, is that subconscious state, meditative state, in the energy of like the air, if you will. So it's in the shamanic sitting, it's about not getting up, and it's about not necessarily falling asleep. You can put your hands on your knees if you're sitting down. You may not need to because of the way you're sitting, but even if you're sitting this way, it usually should be done on a chair. You can put your hand on your knees or on the armrest, and you can even slouch in. But the idea is to try to keep awareness. And the shaman will sit there for hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, through a whole ceremony, through a whole trip. Because the idea is to know control. People's minds go so out of control that they either stand up too fast or they go like this. We don't have time to train like that, but we can start little by little, that we can get, when we finally, life puts us in a place where we can, on a day-to-day basis, wake up and do this type of sitting with ourselves for some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's a good energy so we can store. We can understand.
How is it different? How is it different than sitting cross-legged on the floor doing meditation?
You can do
as opposed to
cross-legged
sitting
too.
on the chair. What does the chair have to do?
It depends how. You could do it cross-legged too. You can do any position that you feel comfortable with. Anything. You can lay down on the ground. Some people can keep their consciousness awake even while laying on the ground, and that's how they astral travel.
It's basically meditating, right? What is it? Or
Yeah.
why? How is? What did you call it again?
No, it's the same thing with laying down cross-legged. Though your legs might fall asleep and you want to get up, or if you work out or you have good flexibility and you can hold it, that's good to do. It's like a stretch, and it's an exercise, and it's a way of connecting your energy fields when you put your legs cross-legged. It's not recommended among noobs who don't train and stuff. It's recommended more amongst people who train their bodies, and they do like the Tibetan rites, the 5 Tibetan rites. And if you ever heard about that exercises,
What is that?
You can look them up, the 5 Tibetan rites. It's a good thing as a frequency to throw out there. Exercises that monks would do, these 5 movements every day that would facilitate like great health in their mobility, because they would climb mountains and they would go up mountains and down mountains, and yeah.
Are they actual exercises, like positions or movements, or
positions and with movement? Yeah. It can get to like yoga in a sense that incorporates.
Yeah, is it like yoga or Tai Chi or something? You could equate it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good. Exactly. And but going back to what you were saying about the sitting in the chair, it's good to, because we sit in chairs a lot in life. People sit in chairs. They don't sit on the ground often. It's good to sit on the ground, but people don't do it often. Getting on the ground is as fast as you get back up for most people, but some people don't hang on the ground like little kids do, like babies do, and that will train some of your most fundamental strength, and not just your fundamental strength, but getting on the ground, maybe also having a cushion to do it, helps you with like sometimes our knees and our body parts hate being on the ground. It hurts our bodies in a sense. So we have to learn to like endure that, because the body likes that.
Like right now, my back is hurting just from forcing myself to stay up straight.
Yeah, you don't have to do it any longer.
But I could feel my muscles like pulling in there.
It's different for you because of the position you're in, for sure.
It doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but it's about all that I could do with my neck or back, whatever's happening there.
Yeah, I get you.
'Cause I can't turn very far.
That's another one. Let's do that exercise too. Unless you want to break out of that places. To go
Which
like
one?
this.
It hurts to go. I can only go that far. I can
Okay.
go this way.
Go like this. And then move to the left a little bit. And back to the center. And to the right. And back to the center. And then stretch your fingers like backward, like they were going back to your
Yeah,
head.
I'm trying to stretch them
And
as
then
much.
going forward. And then stretch your fingers forward, but also your shoulders. Put your shoulders like forward a little bit, if that makes sense. You don't have to put the head too much forward, but the shoulders a little bit. And then go back to stretching your hands out.
Well,
Go back.
it's pulling on that part in my back.
Yeah. Good, good. And so things like that is good to do. When you're sitting down, go like this, left and right, little by little, so you can increase your mobility in the left to right turning position. Little by little, with yourself. And this is a process that takes maybe 6 months of consideration as you do it. Once a day, once every other day, once every other 3 days. If you can remember, once a week even.
I always want to do something.
It's to just sit down with yourself and then have a meditative practice that is also about your structural form and your muscles and your body. I mean, I don't know how much you meditate in your life, or you do yoga or isometrics.
I haven't been doing as much as I used to, as much as I'd like to. I don't know. I'll try to push myself a little more, but right now I had a lot on my plate and I had to go and hurt myself again.
20 minutes in the morning. You give yourself that 20 minutes of heaven in the morning with yourself.
Should be able to get up and greet the day like Anastasia and do all kind of somersaults and backflips and run up the tree and outfox the fox.
You got to train for it. You got to train.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so thirsty. I have no water here. What are you eating, an orange?
Yeah.
I got some nectarines from a local farm.
Nectarines?
They're really good. I was
see.
going to make a fruit salad. I got pineapple, those nectarines, cherries,
I can still hear you.
and I was going to make some whipped cream and then fold it into the cream.
Yeah.
Make a fruit salad and just full. I should go do it before it gets too late.
You should probably do it if you got to eat today and stuff.
Yeah, I have to go do it now before it's too, because it's going on. It's already after 7:30.
For me right now, it's 10:41.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. And I usually quit eating by 8 o'clock.
I see.
I try to not eat so late. And then I do 12 hours before I. And so so now that I don't have the cayenne anymore to put in my lemonade in the morning, I've been putting in these, I got a little bag of mulling spices that had orange peel and clove and cinnamon, little pods of different spices and stuff that you put to do wine or cider. You know how you flavor the cider? Even had star anise in it, which is when it floats in the water, it looks like a spider. Its legs. But it actually flavored it up, so it changed it a little bit. I still like just the lemon. I use lemon and lime. So I still have that every morning. But I should probably go eat that. I should probably go make that fruit salad before it gets too late, because then I don't want to be eaten too late. And then I come out here and I sleep. And then if it gets too cold in the morning, I'll go upstairs and sleep. Try to go back to sleep. But at least it's been nice out. I wouldn't even mind if it rains, because I like the sound of the rain on the tent. You know, when it's raining out or on the roof or whatever, I like that sound.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, Ariel, well, I'm going to go in and make that. And
do it. Enjoy the food.
And I got a big day tomorrow. I don't know how that's going to turn out. So send me good vibes and love and everything to get through this day tomorrow.
Good vibes. Good love.
I don't know if I could do it all in one day. What I have to do, to get all my shit out and put it back in storage or whatever I can fit in the car. So, so I'm gonna go out. What's called out in the
journey for you.
Where it's it's more like farmland.
Farmland.
So it's away from the city and off the, like there'll probably not be like 5G. The girl at the bank says she lives out there and she says she doesn't see any 5G towers there. So it's an area, it's about like maybe 40 minutes away or something like that. So that's where we're gonna head to. Whenever I get everything packed up and everything.
We gotta talk deeper, because I never went into the 5th dimension and the 6th dimension or the 5G. Yeah. We didn't talk much about 5G.
Okay, well, we'll do that next time we talk, okay? Remember that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll leave it up to you to remember. Okay. Well, have a good night.